now back here onto our PUBG Mobile Open number 2, and we are still here with me, Mochi, and of course, Sis Jenny. And from our first match, we have been able to witness some really astounding things who would really not expected that they would be able to perform or excel that much. But before we even go to further comments about them, let us now head into our scoreboard.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. And of course, I'm not surprised. Looking at how Rich on this sassy, how they performed earlier, it was astonishing, crazy with the 13 elimination points, and that gets them into 28. It's really a huge statement there to not mess with them. And then, of course, at number 2 is Astra Esports, of course, not showing that, hey, I'm not so scared of you, because we did see how they didn't even care about the vantage point earlier. So they decided to go into the lower portion of Getka, pretty much being butchered upon two teams who were spraying onto them, but managed to get one person alive, which was Duka with that powerful MG3. I just wish that she actually used more of that particular gun for us to see exactly how powerful that weapon is. And then at number 3, we got Glimpse of Asteria with 14. And number 4, a team that has came back. I would say came back from the grave. They are from Mongolia. Yes, they are still standing strong as to their name. They are very, I would say, they are feisty in picking their spaces. They were being sandwiched earlier on. That's the reason why they couldn't get as much elimination points, even though they wanted to farm with 11 points. But they definitely make an A game when it comes to rotation and picking off places. And we've got Savior or Stronghold Savior with 8 points at number 5. Number 6 is Four Strangers Esports with 6 total points. Hero Zero KDA with 3, and then LMS Alicats with 2, and DVD Rubies with 1.
Yes, and if ever we'll be choosing the top 3 emotions that we had from earlier's match, and I think that will be excitement. And number
Mm-hmm.
2 is the fact that we didn't really expect these teams to actually excel, or
Mm-hmm.
rather, some of these teams to actually do more than what we expected them to do. And number 3 is uh the emotion of being quite sad because of some of the unfortunate events that, you know what, I actually got this, like, almost had it, like they almost
Yeah.
had it, really, like what you've said from all of the positioning. But yeah, hopefully we'll be seeing some comebacks here, especially from DBD Rubbies as well. But it seems like the second map is already ready, and that is going to be in the land of Miramar.
The sandy dunes of Miramar. Flight route seems to be A-OK. Starts from Monte Nuevo, ends in Impala, cuts in the middle like a little piece of cake, although the other portion is more. But no problem with gliding into, as compared to the first flight route, it was more towards the south. This is still quite centralized. I think, again,
Mhm.
nobody will go and decide to fight over drop spots, because this is, it's Miramar. You want to go for early battles, it's going to be a long stand up, and then, we're going to waste a bit of time. But right now, everything looks good, and everybody can go anywhere they want to, so we won't might wait a minute. I spoke too soon, because you know what, IHC is about to have a standoff with DVD over in Monte
Oh
Noivo.
my.
Why?
We're
But
just
let's go,
talking
let's go.
about them earlier on.
Uh-huh. Let's go, observer. We want to see this. We want to see this. Okay, two feisty teams, as their names say so. So let's see who will go down first.
And I'm quite sure that they're already aware that one another is already in this specific area. But at the
Uh-huh.
same time, it's too open as well. So I guess it is definitely by chance if ever they'll be meeting one another, or it is up to them if ever they'll be hunting each other down. But at the same time, it's such an open area, no? And I guess that is really deadly as well. But knowing that these ladies are, like what you said, are really feisty, and if ever that they wanted to go towards the fight, they wouldn't hesitate in doing so. And I guess I think that should work out fine. But I'm sure that no one's gonna be leaving here without any loss in return.
Yeah, it seems like they're just gonna wait upon one another. Mikasa is probably taking a little bit of the risk here, being in the middle of nowhere. I'm quite afraid of how she's going to move around, while the rest of them, I would say it's baiting, because the rest of the other teammates are actually in a compound. Not sure how she's going to get angles covered, unless you're saying that she's rainbow. She can go like, pew 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 to all of the players here,
Mm-hmm.
because as of now, I think Elvira and also someone over at the bottom, Lilo's or Milo, I'm not really sure what's her name, is able to see that. But oh, okay, Mikasa is doing something tactical here. She's actually getting information of as to where DBD players are, but all of them are keeping foot into each areas, and I can hear baiting calls there coming from someone over in the vantage point of Monte Noivo. Again, this is coming from IHC Goddess. They're pretty much confident with their game. Oh, sorry, it's not Milo, it's Adlina. Sorry, I kind of butchered your name. But no, she has a good angle of where Mikasa might be. If she stayed put, she would have seen the movements, and she's in the open. If that was a spray with an Uzi, he said, oh wait, I was wrong. It's Lilo. So I was right. It's Lilo. I didn't butcher her name. But yeah, Lilo is over there with the good angle. She can be able to do a spray down over to Mikasa if she's still in the open. With Sakura and everybody else in IHC is just getting information. Again, these two teams are pretty much smart. They don't want to have the early fights, but unfortunately, they landed upon the same place for map number one in Miramar. So somebody has to go down. Looking at how um separated they are in such formations, so I don't think they have the time to regroup, because all of them have met uh at any corners there's a potential threat for either team, so somebody has to go down.
Yeah, and actually, they don't have all the loot that they currently need, but at the same time, I think they're making it work. It seems like there's already an early interaction here between Mikasa and one of the members here on the side of DBD. There's already been shots fired, but at the same time, I guess they're trying to actually avoid these types of interactions. But it's just that Mikasa is so aggressive
Ooh.
that she decides to push forward and been able to secure one down as well. He's already down Aglia would be erased that early.
Oh
Interesting.
no, it's not a good start again for DBD. Now this is a good time for them to regroup and then go ahead somewhere else. And I'm hearing a vehicle here being utilized by Lilo, but parking too close, too near, because the entire team IHC. Ay ay
Oh,
ay! What? That was a surprise visit, man. Oh no, not a good start again for DBD. Already two down, so the only way for them to play this time is to go passive. Needs to go somewhere. She needs to run, and that's exactly what she's doing. She's going to try and get that survival points, because no way, no way they're not going to get points for this round. This is a huge round where she can take
oh
advantage of
my.
having kill steals or something like that, but no vehicles at all. And I see, I don't think they're going to chase for her unless we're starting to see that purple spots decides to move forward. But wait a minute, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. But Elvira, may the god of Tencent be with you.
That is so unfortunate for DVD. And Elvira is left alone this early in the match, and we can say that it is not impossible for her to actually fight it off, but at the same time, I think it is going to be quite difficult for her to actually even accumulate some kills. I guess one or two might be possible, but at the same, you get the point. You get the point. But at the same time, we're seeing a lot of teams who are outside of the circle right now. I mean, it's just pretty early within this match, but we can actually expect them to actually to gatekeep one another already, or at least sandwich one another. Specifically, some of these teams who are they call this, it is LMS and even HZE. Yeah, so that's going to be a problem for them if ever. But I guess it's not cut this short. There's still a lot of opportunities that can be changed here since it's just this early in the match. And at the same time, since that there's already some knowledge, and then some of the teams here are already in the circle.
Yep, and it seems like everybody's gonna focus onto rotation again. The circle, similar to our Erangel map, is going towards the northwest. Literally, this is totally in the north. I got a feeling it's gonna close into more towards the west side near Cradle Fields, El Pozo. Probably that's the reason why we are seeing a few teams headed on towards that areas. But we are still seeing a little bit of the teams that have yet to rotate upwards, especially teams from the south side. We are seeing Rage, the previous chicken dinner winners.
Mhm.
They are still over in I think that is Minas the Bell. already got himself one vehicle, so I think they would just go on towards rotation right after this. But uniquely, we are seeing Team SH leaving behind one of the teammates, Jess, trying to catch up with the rest of the team, kissing their perimeters right now. Nobody's going to contest as of now. Nobody's seeing one another. It's a huge map. We have yet to see a team, but I would say Elvira needs to pick onto areas and places that she can hide upon, because right now she's right smack in the middle near the cliffs. That's a good place to hide, but she got to keep that vehicle away from people's eyes so that they won't actually realize that hey, there's somebody here
Mm-hmm.
and decided to hunt for her, because she's
Agree.
pretty much in a vulnerable place. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty deadly for Elvira considering that she is being surrounded by a couple of teams right now. If ever they'll be able to spot Elvira, then definitely that will be a possible end for her. But yeah, at the same time, you're seeing some players here. Actually, Asteria is far, far at the blue zone and as well as range, but I guess they'll be coming in just in a bit. But of course, for Strangers Esports, it is quite of an interesting spot that they've been able to put themselves at the northwestern corner of this circle. And hopefully, we'll be seeing some interesting plays over there because, as far as I may observe, what or how for Stranger Esports performs, they are too good on the safe side. But whenever that there's already some duels, they start to actually struggle already. I mean, they've been able to secure, but at the same time, it is always a problem for them to keep their team alive as a whole. But considering that we're seeing some players here, which is IFC Goddess already really near to Elvira. Oh my. I'm
Yeah,
the
I
one
know,
being
right?
nervous for her.
Oh, okay. She's in a compound. I don't know if this is actually a wise decision for her. A compound, anybody can rush in, and she's just gonna pass through, not gonna do a checkpoint over there. In fact, they're gonna go by near the airdrop and gonna do a little bit of the sprays here, and this is again by Duka using the same weapon of her choice, which is the M4, and she managed to get Sakura down. And Sakura is gonna get that revival, but hey, I see very smart, not gonna proceed. They're gonna try and do a trade-off here. I'm seeing a bit of that replies over onto the other side of that mountain. But you know what, Duka? I'm gonna push. I don't care how many is in front of me, because they've got all the covers. They've got all the pointed the areas covered. But again, now looking into Mikasa, doing the lower engagement. We are looking into 2A already have opened up. A few of them staying into the vantage point, but I'm seeing three of them pushing straight. Wow, on point shooting with the Scar L.
Oh my, too bad for little Luca. She hasn't been able to even go for an answer against Mikasa. But Mikasa going for the slices, but sadly she's been put down by a couple of
Ouch.
members here from the other team. In return, we will be seeing some respondents here from IHC as well, trying to go for the counter, but at the same time, I think it would be a bit too late. Hopefully, they will be
Wow.
able to work this out because couple of members here from 2A already fleeing. Never mind, people still going for the counter here, going for the duels, but at the same time, Ella has been able to win that encounter, and now is already an opportunity for her to revive her teammates.
And you know what, Mochi? I'm actually not surprised because these two teams are from the same country. They are
Mm.
Mongolian, so I'm not sure there's the game style, the way they are playing is the same. The way they open up, they left somebody in the vantage point, trying to do a trade off, and then right now we're seeing equal numbers of people being gunned down, and then IHC again trying to say that hey, you don't mess with me again. We're seeing this gun that is being utilized here by Lily with MG3, but she's currently down on on her on the ground, and she needs somebody to do a little bit of that revival for her, and hopefully she will be able to get a little bit of revival. But no, 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 no. No, no revival for you. So she's gonna be gunned down already. So unfortunately, she still stays strong with the name, but
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine what Elvira is feeling because she can hear all the gunshots
Yeah,
where she is.
I find it quite amusing as well. It's just the time that I'm about to point it out that Elvira, after everything that has been able to happen, she's just at that corner of that compound, and that's it. Like
Yeah.
she has been able to witness all those violence has been able to happen, but at the same time, she's just chilling at the corner, like you know what? Don't mind me. I'm just gonna be here. Don't worry.
Oh God. And you know what? Another team decided to pass through where she is. I don't know, man. I can't imagine the pressure in
Mm-hmm.
being in her shoes right now. It's just like, oh no, you know what? They decided to share the same compound with Elvira. Oh, come on, observer, show us what's happening to her. She's definitely not feeling at her peak right now. The cars literally stopped where the compound is. Ah, she's being chased. I already heard the footsteps. That's it. That's it.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. And now I think she's about to perish all because of the damage that she's been taking from the Molotov. Okay. Oh my! I'm
Oh.
just, I'm just about to say that she's patching herself up, but I guess not anymore. Too bad.
Oh, alley cats. They decided to find a
Her
a good
journey ends
meal.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
But
boy.
okay, Elvira, not really a good place to be in, but at least she tried to survive. But okay, so that was that. We're gonna go into other rotations. We are seeing a lot of scrimmages that might happen right now. Over on towards the north side or near the Oasis, there was a few teams decided to do a rotation right back with one another neck on neck, near water treatment, and then we can see H2E. And you know what? There is a fight with the current or the previous chicken dinner winners, and this is Rich versus Forza.
Yeah, Forest Rangers are having some struggle right now. Like, there's already TV go down here, but like aside by people, Mark has been able to go for the P first, but sadly not that accurate. I guess she's been able to deal some damage, but not entirely enough to actually shut those people down. But by the sidelines, though, Abby has been able to take Munchie as well. Range Nikki is in a really good position here, might be
Ow.
able to scour Mars as well, but at the same time, receiving some shots from her. And I guess it's going to be a showdown between these two members. But oh my, all of the free fires happening here from range and force changers is phenomenal. But at the same time, it's going to be quite difficult for force changers to actually survive further because they've been able to secure one already. Unge has been able to go for one, and it seems like their other members are there to follow. But at least that is a good trade for Mark.
Yeah, talking about the trade, they are trying to figure out exactly which angles to cover because none of them is in the current circle. Although it's just right in front, but Ridge is not gonna go anywhere. They're definitely gonna try and take down this team who is currently struggling to push into. And we can see Ungi or Unge will try to do a toss over to Abby, but will not click. She got to do a little bit of the tanking of the zone while trying to eliminate Abby in front of
Oh.
her. But Nikki, ay ay ay, because of not having enough aids and will get knocked by the play zone. Now this is calling for emergency because they are losing members just like that. I mean they can push into the circle if they want to, but Yungi, ay ay ay, look into Abby will try to shoot into who will get a single see but like Yungi will
Ooh.
bring her down. So she got the job done and she will eliminate immediately by the counter fire just immediately happening over to Emers. But we'll try to go and get a little bit of the covers. Now, these two teams, they have to think of the blues because this is already painful. This is circle number 4. So the blues is going to be a little bit painful, not a little bit, a lot. And they got to find their way in. They got to stop the fight and get themselves into the circle.
Ah, they're quite far. So that is definitely going to be the problem for them. And at the same time, they're not with their teammates anymore. So, additional problem for them if ever that someone would be placing themselves at the entry of the top left corner of the circle where they're about to heal themselves after suffering a lot from the blue zone. But at the same time, we're seeing some people here from Stronghold Savior rotating, but that is going to be an encounter here between them and Hero Zero. KDA might be letting in some shots, but no casualties so far, thankfully.
Oh, but hero to zero. Is this a time where we're going to see the zero turns into a hero because they are shooting straight into team number 9. Yes, it is team number 9, Savior from Philippines, looking straight into, but also having a third party engagement
Mm-hmm.
with team of Glimpse of Asteria. Now, everybody is just looking to one another and they all got to prioritize the circle. But unfortunately, team 4,
Ooh.
they are guarding it right. And this is hero to zero. Now, they have one person knocked and Jess here will try to get information and give whatever information that is needed. Of course, trying to also prioritize the reviving, but
Ooh.
counterfire fire immediately. This is coming from, wow, what a good counter fire here. They got the angles covered from hero to zero. They're gonna try and come back because they got themselves too soon also in the previous game. And now we're gonna see how they're gonna fight it because all of them are kissing the parameters. We're gonna totally ignore team number three because they can't. They are pretty much far. They got a vehicle. They can rotate elsewhere. If they hear the gunshots, they want to get into the circle, get a bit more of the survival points.
Oh
But
my!
whoa, we won HP.
What?
Wow,
What just
that was
happened
good.
there?
Yeah, good comms indeed. But you know what? Team number three, glimpse of hysteria, just listening to the glimpse of the gunshots. They're not gonna do anything.
I mean, there is a third party earlier on, right? From this area, but at the same time, we're seeing this current damage that's being put out here by Costa. I in an awkward position to actually go for the counter. Unfortunately, they will be able to do something, and in return, they're going to be receiving a lot of gunshots here from the side of as alley cats, and in return, it seems like they'll be facing their unfortunate consequence from getting that vehicle on their hands. And let's not deny the fact that because it's still here, this girl has a lot of what do you call this, a lot of prowlers as well that she can offer, but at the same time, with the what's the numbers up with now is going to be uh quite difficult for her to actually do something in return. So instead, she's gonna disengage, go to the far outskirts of this circle, and might be going
Oh,
for a reset for herself.
but unfortunately, she rotated elsewhere because the circle decided to close into the
Oh
northern
yeah.
portion. Or let's just say hero to zero gets the circle already. And now looking into rage, they already have been eliminated. So we will be looking into new winner chicken dinner winners. Looking into right now, we have the manpower advantage from GL. IHC, they won the circle. They were good at rotation, but unfortunately, they were gunned down with advantage point by Ellicats. So right
Mm-hmm.
now, Ellicats is not currently in the circle. But look into Mikasa's. I got a feeling she's the IGL. And knowing IGL, they know terrains pretty well, and she's probably going to pick an area where she can be a kingmaker if she's able to feed onto kill steals. And of course, this is if
Yeah.
Alicaz decides to move elsewhere. If they decide to go right behind her now, this might be a backstep indeed. But we're just going to focus into four teams right now with the manpower advantage. Is of course uh glimpse of hysteria, hero to zero. But I feel like I'm hearing the sprays of fired over to Mikasa's. I'm seeing over in the mini map that she's getting tapped by, but I'm not so sure exactly where she is. It seems like she's gonna be in a compound. We'll try to do a little bit of a survival.
But at the same time, seems like they've been able to meet each other here from the side of Alley Cats, and it seems like Tosca doesn't actually know or hasn't been able to pinpoint where she is. There's a lot of free fires happening here, but not entirely enough to actually shut them down, all because of the range. But at least it's been able to deal some damage, and that's what's important. But look at this, they're just going for the free fires as well. This is a long battle for them trying to
Ah,
dodge the bullets.
oh, she's pissed, man. She's trying to get that shot, but she can't get it. Even though, oh,
Ooh!
finally, but she can't finish that because it's been covered by compounds already. Though, even though being the last person alive for IHC, she is still being,
Very
I'm gonna
aggressive.
try and get whatever points. I'm gonna make a whole lot of noise. I'm gonna let the entire world look at me, if because I got the circle. So she's gonna try and fit onto it. The only way to bring her down if a team is able to push her in that current compound. But looking at the circle, this is pretty much a date pool. Everybody has to go into the center, and it's a drop down with a little bit of the cleaves trying to cover one another. But we can see where the circle might just close into, and it's going to be pretty much hard to cover angles. And knowing that if you're right smack in the center, but lucky they've got a little bit of the compound, so that will buy a bit more time for Mikasa. And hero to zero, they have a good point here. They can do a farm kill. They can just hold on and wait for all of these teams to have their skirmish with one another and just fit onto the kill feeds if they can.
Yeah, if they can indeed. But at the same time, it seems like the circle is already shifted to the top right corner of this one.
Ooh.
So it's still Hero Zero being able to actually dictate the pace of the game and have a really good position of themselves. And as well as the fact that they're in a really good ground as well. I mean, it's the higher grounds, and they've been able to pinpoint all of the players that they currently see right now from the all the corners of the map. Not necessarily that the circle has its corners, but you get what I mean. But
Yep.
still, this is a really good ground for them. But the thing here is, it might be a risk because they might actually face the same fate as what happened to IC Goddess earlier on. So they might be cornered once again. Hopefully, that won't happen to them.
Yeah. And now looking into where the circle is. They've managed to still get the circle, getting a
Ooh,
little bit of taps from Mikasa, but managed to get to dodge. She's still alive. You know, a team can push right in front of her, and I feel that alley cats have come closer to her. That's the reason why we are hearing footsteps here by some of these players. They're trying to cordon her off. Not gonna make try to give that handicap movement towards where she is for Mikasa, but they gotta be watchful. Oh, but nobody's spraying on towards one. I'm not so sure what's happening here. Hero to zero probably trying to get um into the last few circles and decided to put more damage, or maybe they are low in their immunities. So probably that's the reason why. But they're also getting sprays from the other side. Now this is really good. This is coming from Mikasa, by the way. Wow, wow, wow.
man, I see. It seems like Mikasa is like a one-man team on her own. Like, she's been
Mm-hmm.
able to repel a lot of shots. She has been able to go for a couple of resets already just
Mm-hmm.
by trying to go these four corners of this house that she is currently in. But at the same time, we are seeing these two teams actually are potentially meeting each other, which is the side of the Alley Cats as well as Asteria. And I can't wait for them to actually meet each other because that would just mean it's going to be a fight. But at the same time, Hero Zero is on a safe spot here. Like, they're not moving, they're not letting out any noise. All they have to do is to scout for any potential person who will be getting into the circle and try to shut them down later on if ever that they already got all of the information that they have to get.
Ah.
But at the same time, someone's been downed here from the side of Asteria.
Now this is what we say the vantage point killers. They are taking advantage of things. It's definitely a premium spot to be. Hero to zero. They are feeding off with closer angles at this point of time. Now we're seeing a double edge camera
Ooh.
view. Mikasa's just looking into opponents, knowing that, taking
Woo!
advantage immediately. Ay 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 with that one shot. Oh, that was definitely tried. She tried to close in with that one advantage point, but
She
no,
did it.
because there was a lot of people here. Now this is a problem for Hero to zero because the circle decided to go all the way down, and this team have to go and rush into the circle because right now it's gonna be very very painful unless they can do a little bit of pumpkin. Why she didn't take that shot? Ay ay ay, that was definitely a good shot. Come on, do a spray. Now it's too late, isn't it? It's a bit too late. Now they gotta do is focus onto how they're gonna push in because when they go down with the vehicles, they're gonna get the sprays. I'm sure.
Yeah, and at the same time, I mean, this is quite of a big distance that they have to cover as well. But look at that. It seems like someone's been able to land a shot here onto Ka, and instead, it seems like Ka is already struggling. Like, someone would try to go and help her, but at the same time, not really that possible considering of how risky that would be. They're out in the open,
Ow.
and now they're trying to go in just using the vehicle to at least reach the boundaries in order to put themselves into a better position. But all of the eyes are already on them. Like, look at this. Even these members from Alley Cats was able to pinpoint these members from the side of Hero Zero, and in return, they're currently struggling to go further.
But everybody is sharing an equal portion of that circle. Hero to zero gets a little bit, Asteria gets a little bit. Similarly to Alley Cats, it depends on who will push into one another. Everybody got themselves a good defense mechanism right in front of them, so no problem with that. But I would like to comment on Alley Cats. They made quite a rotation initially, and they were all the way onto the south. They came into teams, they pushed into teams, they managed to eliminate a few players. They got themselves 6 elimination points. That was definitely a good job for them. Again, we're looking into Hero to zero because they got themselves information. They know exactly where the teams are. Hence, they're just tossing on things that they can eliminate as much as they can with the distance that they are in. I'm hearing spray stills, and this is coming from Alley Cats and also Hero to zero. Now, being sandwiched currently in the middle is actually Glimpse of Asteria.
Hmm. And also, there's only two more people from their team. I mean, yeah, two more people alive from each team, but at the same time it's their position that matters a lot, because like what you said, they're being sandwiched, they're just by the wall, and there is no way for them to actually run around or do some further rotations in order to put themselves in a better position, and in return they're the ones having a difficult time. But so far Elmas Alicats has been able to go and push forward. They wanted
Wow.
to corner some of the members here, or rather, if they will be able to secure some kills, because it seems like from what their stance is, they have more advantage in terms of going for the near fights or near duels. And let's see if they will be able to do something similar to that. But at the same time, a lot of grenades are being thrown here from the side of Hero Zero.
If she gets this right, it might be a Kobe. That's is enough cooked. Oh, yep, there
Oh,
is. There is a Kobe.
let's
There.
go!
One person went down, and they're gonna immediately push, coming in towards the front. Hero to zero. Will try to flank. Or push in front a bit more, but no, I'm not sure if they know there's somebody down there from Alley Cats who decided to come in because she got information. She came from the flank area, so she saw exactly the position of Hero to zero. So that's the reason why she has the guts to push right under the cliff. Yeah, we're looking into DNA. She was the one over on towards the extreme left hand portion, and now she decided to push in front. So this might be a threat for Hero to zero because currently their focus fire is over onto the other side, the center portion where there are three players involved, and what two of them from different teams. But DNA, she's not gonna, you know what? She has the MG3. This is able to do a clutch because, like I said, this particular gun carries a huge damage. One body shot is able to do a knockout. So if she gets this right,
Mm-hmm.
we will not only get to see a beautiful show, we get to see this weapon of choice. Yeah, a whole lot of people is going crazy for this MG3. So I do want to see if she's able to push. But looking into Hero to Zero, they have already opened out. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough time for DNA to even do the flank.
I guess that would definitely be the case, but at the same time, I cannot get rid of the fact that they can still have the possibility of reaching the boundaries here, because, like what you said from earlier on, they've been able to throw a lot of stuff, but oh my! It seems like Trupa has been able to be eradicated here by someone from the other teams. It seems like someone has been able to be killed because of the play zone as well, and that brings us more to four more people alive, each one with a representative from the side of
Oh,
Asteria and as well as Hero Zero. But look at this, Rie has been able to connect some
DNA.
shots there, but just as she was
Nice.
about to push forward, she's been put down here by one of the members here from the side of the
Oh.
Alley Cats. And in return, it seems like there's going to be a win for Asteria. That is a clutch.
Wow, Assyria with confidence, with information, they decided to reverse the game because you know what? Alley Cats, they reacted a little bit too late with good weapons, with good information of exactly where they are. We know that Hero to Zero couldn't go anywhere, even though they got all the information from the vantage point. They were so limited, like what Mochi was saying. The play zone was killing them already. So wow, this is definitely a good reverse psychology of what Assyria took advantage of with three elimination points. Alley Cats with a total of 8 elimination points. Hero to Zero with 5 elimination points.
Yeah, and actually, I still want to applaud IUC Goddess because Mikasa
Yep.
really put up a fight there, and they
Mm-hmm.
even garnered this fourth place, which I assume that there's still some equivalent points to this one, and that is what matters. That is a really great player. It's been put out here by Mikasa, like what they said. It is the IG code. It's a key person for the team
Mm-hmm.
as well. We also have these members from Region League Sassy has been able to get 3 kill points, garnering the fifth place, and as well as Stronghold Saver from PH being able to get two, as well as Four Changers esports being able to get 2 kills as well in the seventh place, as well as 2A, which is Astra Esports from Mongolia, being able to get no kill points but placed 8, and as well as CBD, once again the last placer here for this match.
Yep. Unfortunately for DVD, it hasn't been a good 2 games. You know, teams that we thought that would perform, but
Mm.
because they got an early engagement, and then in Erangel they got a surprise visit, so we have yet to see them in action. I do definitely want to see them. Hopefully, Senhog is going to be a better game for them. So again, who are you supporting? Because I'm reading a little bit of the comments here. I'm seeing a few like saying that IHC, people from
Mm-hmm.
Mongolia coming in into the stream. Come on, like and share the stream, and tell the world or tell your friends that the ladies are playing in this PUBG open for FSL. So this is definitely something for you guys to see, because some of these ladies, how they play, they are really showing off their skill sets, like how a men's team would do it, because the formation, the
Yeah.
rotation, we could see it. We could see it all. It's not just coming out to fight. They were using their minds, just playing a little bit of the games, and I really like it. Right, Mochi?
Yeah, actually, I agree with what you said. Like, there is a lot of stuff that's happening here. A lot of unfamiliar faces who are finally giving us a really good impression about them. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that we will be having more of that for our next map. And like
Uh-huh.
what Sis Jenny said, put down below who's your team biases and give them your utmost support, because, moral support matters as well. Or rather, the morale and the confidence matters as well from the support you give there down in the comments below. So, yeah, it seems like that is going to be the end for our second map of Miramar, and seems like we'll be going to the land of Sandhawk later on, which is going to be the greenery at
Mm-hmm.
last, or rather, it's also here at the area of Asia. So we'll be back just a minute after a quick short break, and we'll be showing you the tally for our scoreboard, updated tally of our scoreboard later on. Once again, it's Mochi and Sis Jenny, and we'll see you in a bit.